What's up, good people? Welcome back to another episode of Undrafted Views. We're here. We talk sports from the sidelines, and today we're going to talk about the Toronto Raptors and our thoughts on their season so far. Let's get into it.
So the Toronto Raptors are currently number 8 in the Eastern Conference with a record of 6-4. But really, they're not really a number 8 team. Do you have them being a sleeper in the Eastern Conference?
I do. I have them being a sleeper in the Eastern Conference. I think there is a possibility that they could potentially become a top 6 team by the end of the season. Top 6. That don't mean they're going to go deep in the playoffs, but I believe they can be at least a top 6. And here's why. I think OG Anunoby is going to have a breakout season. He's playing very, very well. Scotty Barnes, rookie, killing the game right now. Doing very well. And I think also Van Fleet is finding his leadership presence. And eventually it will continue to develop as the season progresses. And once they get Pascal Siakam, I know he's going to be playing in their next game with the Nets. Let's see how he comes back because he was out for the first part of this season. I think they may have a solid team, and then they have other role players as well. But those are the 4 players that stand out to me that really helps me because what will end up happening with Pascal Siakam coming back, it puts Scotty Barnes back on the bench, and they need that bench production, right? So I can see the Raptors being able to compete. Now, no, I am not saying with the 76ers, it's questionable with the Nets, although I think they won. Did they win their Nets match? No, the Knicks. They won their Knicks matchup with them earlier this season. So I get teams will lose games. So I'm not talking about that overall, but sustained wins, I can see them doing that and enough where they can become a top 6 in the East. Yeah.
I definitely see Toronto Raptors being top 6 in the East now. It might be a tough fight because the East this year is just woo. We never really had to worry about. I shouldn't say never, but in the past, like with the last couple of years, we did not have to worry about the Chicago Bulls. We didn't have to worry about them. They were not even, it wasn't even a thought. But the Toronto Raptors now, in 2019, when they won the championship, people weren't really talking about them. 2020, it was a bust. It was the bubble season. They didn't make it. Here we are, 2021, 2022 season. People are still not really talking about the Toronto Raptors, but I do see them coming up from behind and surprising everybody. So, yeah, I have them being a sleeper. They better watch out for OG and Spicy P. And I'm telling you, that Scotty Barnes, his first year in the league, he's able to do this. He can only get better. I'm really excited about the Toronto Raptors.
I am too. I think they would be a formidable team to compete against. Let me just tell you, not only were people not checking for the Bulls, but them Washington Wizards not doing too bad either. So what I'm saying is that you cannot tell me that the Toronto Raptors cannot successfully compete against those teams as well as they're performing. Yes, now they may have had a rough start again, but come on. We're now going into the second half of the first half of the game of the season. I don't know how you word these next 5 or 6 games or whatever, but the Toronto Raptors they finally found their space. And I'm not going to put anything past their coach, Nick Nurse. Right? So he also is I think he has a great way to scheme differently against teams as they come up. So they are a sleeper. They will probably upset somebody.
Yep.
Top 1 through 6. And we're going to be looking back and saying, oh, they did that. Yeah. I can see them doing just that. So the Toronto Raptors are most definitely a sleeper team for me. Yes.
I'm really surprised OG is their leading scorer right now. Currently averaging 20 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. OG came out the blue with this one. I really like that pickup. He's just...
Yeah, so can you imagine if he sustains that, then you got Scotty Barnes. What is he averaging? 17, 8, and 2? What? And if Pascal Siakam can come back, because what is Pascal? He's like what?
21.7 rebounds and 4 assists.
Come on.
Yeah.
And then if you have now, I know Van Fleet, his production as a scorer may change because now he becomes more of a facilitator because his role is different for this season than it was when Kyle Lowry was there. And I understand that. But again, when you got people that can shoot, you don't know who to double team, right? And they got some really, really great players. So I believe they can. I know that they're going to be playing in the next 5 games. They're going to be playing the Nets, Boston, 76ers, Pistons, and Portland. That's their
Ooh.
next 5 games.
Okay.
And
I
3 of
expect them to
those,
go 3-5. I mean 3-2.
3-2, 3 wins against who?
Running back, you said Nets,
Boston, Sixers, Pistons, and Portland.
They'll be Pistons, Portland, and probably Boston.
I would say Boston too. I don't. Yeah, I can see Boston. Oh, Boston. But anyway, for another video. But yeah. Portland for sure. Pistons, yeah, it's going to be great. And that's what I'm talking about. And 3 of those teams are in their division. Nets, Boston, and the Sixers. So I think it's really, really great. I think they're in a good position. I'm glad that they had their time to figure it out, and now they're here up against teams that are going to be more competitive than the ones in the past. So yeah.
Can I just say that I told Khem Birch to look over his shoulder because Precious Achiuwa was going to take his spot. And what has happened? Nick Nurse figured it out. I knew Precious was a better starting center than Khem Birch. And Khem Birch seems to be okay with it. He said, look, I'm here to make the right play. I got my contract. I'm good. I said, okay, that's a good attitude, but Precious outplayed you anyway, buddy. Now, you're a big fan of Nick Nurse. You like the way he coaches. What is going on with Goran Dragic? Why has he played only 4 of the 10 games? Should Nick Nurse implement Goran a little bit more? I understand he's a 35-year-old guard. He came from the Miami Heat. He spent, 8 seasons with Miami? 7 seasons with Miami. He did not want to leave. I'm wondering if there's some negative energy going on there. Why is he not using Goran?
Goran don't want to be there. He tried to save it. He once indicated, and I'm paraphrasing, I'm not word for word, but he once indicated that he was surprised and he didn't want to leave the Heat.
Yeah.
And so him not wanting to leave the Heat may have turned into, I don't want to be here in Toronto. Right. He made up for it with the video he put together, and that's fine. But I think that may have strained a relationship within the Raptors culture, or within the Raptors team. It may not necessarily be directed to Nick Nurse. It may not necessarily be connected to Isaiah Ujiri, but something about it, right? And I think that's why he is not playing. I'm talking about not do DNP.
Yeah, like no.
Right. And so I think what they're waiting on the trade deadline. I do not see Goran being there at the end of the season. I just don't see it.
Yeah, but I don't see him back in Miami either. So either way, he's going to be displaced.
Yeah. He'll be either displaced, looking for a team, or he'll be traded to a team for some money, or second picks or something. It's not going to be a big trade. I don't see, because he's not playing right now, so nobody knows what he can do. And he's fresh off of an injury again.
Yeah. And he's 35, right?
And he is 35. Now he can be a nice solid piece for them, but if they're not utilizing him in their scheme right now, how is he going to fit in?
See, that's the problem.
So yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it for Goran in Toronto at all. Not long term.
Okay. Now, Goran was a guy, he's accustomed to playing 28 to 33 minutes a game. I mean, average about 13 to 16 points a game, give you about 5 assists. You mean to tell me Toronto Raptors can't use that?
They haven't.
That's crazy, though.
Is he injured and they don't want to say something? Like, what is it? What is it? Is he doing injury management right now? I don't know. I don't think he is. So why are they not using him? If not for the 20 minutes, at least for 15. He can't.
Well, Nick Nurse said that he's leaning more towards their little rookie that they drafted, Delano.
Why? But we'll see, right? I think that something could change depending on how they fare well with these next teams. It's almost like they're keeping Goran in their pocket just in case. But you can't do a player like that. I mean, he's gonna be cold. Like he can't even get 10 minutes in a game. DNP, cold. That ain't right. Ooh, cold game.
It's a cold game.
So what do you think about Gary Trent Jr.'s production and fit within the Toronto Raptors?
Oh, I love it. I think he's fantastic for them. He's giving them 15 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist. I think he's a perfect sidekick in the backcourt for Fred. I mean, I like what Gary is doing. When they got him from Portland, I said, oh, yeah, this is a great pickup, especially after losing Kyle Lowry. I think Gary can also help out with their floor general and help out Fred VanVleet as well.
Yeah, I like the pickup as well. I think it's a nice addition. I was a little sad when they traded Powell to Portland when they did the swap. But hey, the people have their reasons why they do things. And so Gary Trent is really a joy to see on the court as well. And I think he fits really well in their scheme for the Toronto Raptors. So yeah, I agree with you.
All right, you guys, we're going to wrap up this episode on the Toronto Raptors. Make sure you drop down in the comments and let us know if you believe the Toronto Raptors are a sleeper team in the Eastern Conference. Thank you all for watching. We will see you guys on the next one. But until then,
peace.
Peace out.